Hello and welcome to our CloudBlue community videos. Today's topic will be learning API calls from using user interface or portals of CloudBlue Connect with Google Chrome and Chromonicle, the plugin that might be very useful to you guys. And we will do a live demo of how to do that. So first of all, let me remind you the background. In Connect, we have 4 different ways of integration: portals, REST APIs, our SDKs and extensions. And REST API is the fundamental piece of it. All of other ways of integration are built on top of our own API. And we already have 2 videos in our YouTube channel, Resource Query Language Overview and Connect REST APIs Overview. But obviously, it's simple enough, but there's always a simpler way. Right? Sometimes you don't have time to learn through all the documentation, you don't want to learn all of those query languages, so you want to have a simpler way to just get the work done. Right? You want to know how to do it. And there is a way to actually do it very fast without getting into the guts of everything underneath. And this way is to use our portals. Let me illustrate this a little bit. So as we've seen in other videos, our own portals are built on top of our APIs. Right? Thus, if you look at this diagram this way, right? So our own portals will be talking to the same APIs that your systems will be using. And as such, if you can find an efficient way to basically look at those API calls that are being performed by the browser, you will be able to learn and replicate those calls in your systems. And obviously, all browsers have their own tool sets. Today, I will show you how to do it with Chrome, and specifically with Chrome DevTools, and a plugin that I like a lot for this purpose that is called Chromonicle, that you can quickly install. It's free to your Chrome. And with this, you will be able to quickly discover API calls without using any of documentation and additional materials. The way we'll do it, and I will show a live demo to you in a minute, is just by bringing up the inspector and development tools of Google Chrome. You will need to switch to the network tab in order to see the API calls. And this is where you can see all of those different API calls that are performed by the browser. Well, this is where you can see your calls, but it's not that simple to actually see the structure in here, at least for me personally. That's why I prefer to use this plugin that you can freely install from Google Web Store, and there will be a link to this extension to Chrome in description to this video. You can install it, and when you install it, there will be additional tab in your development tools that is called Console. And when you go here, you will see basically all the same API calls, but it's much easier to read because the screen is wider, and you will see all the different API calls that you are doing. Now, important disclaimer, before you are doing this, please remember that when you do the real API calls, or when you integrate your systems, you really need to change the domain name to a different one, because this domain name of the portal is not the one to be used for production API calls. It's only for user interface. So in your extensions management module, you need to go to General and get API endpoint URL from here, just like you need to get your token from here. So without further ado, let's just see how it all works. And in my live demo, I will show you how to inspect API calls in Chrome and how to replicate those calls in REST client of my choice. I am already in Chrome here, and I'm already authenticated in my portal. So let's just click Inspector. And this brings up development tools of Chrome. We don't need to go to Elements. We need to go to Network. And in here, we can see all the API calls that are being done. So for example, let's go to Agreements here. And let's make our Chrome window smaller so that you can see that API calls underneath there are changing, right? So we can go to Agreements, we can go to Contracts, and as you can see, new API calls are appearing there. Like for example, this was the Contracts call that was just performed. Contracts with this selection. And let's clean the history of my development tools. Let's, for example, switch to Assets And in here, we will see that the request was made by the browser to the assets collection. So it's the public /v1/assets API with certain filters, offset and limit applied. We can go to console and see the same. Right? So we can see that this was the API call that was made to this URL. So let's just try to replicate it. Right? So we can take this whole URL, but again, we don't need to use this domain. So let's go for a second to the extensions management. And in extensions management, let's get this URL. Let's go and switch to the REST client, and then REST client will be using this URL as a foundation. Then we'll go to /assets. We will need authorization header, obviously, so we'll need to go to tokens, and let's copy my token value from here, and let's perform this API call. So this API call returns the collection. Now let's try to play with it, right? So let's filter this product list, for example. Let's learn how to do filtering. Let's do, for example, product something, right? So we just created a filter, and as you can see, the filter query is also visible in here. So we can take this I like operator and apply it to product title, for example, right? So we can see that this query searches by both product ID and product title. So let's do I like product.title and products. So let's go in here, and we'll go to query parameters, and we will do the raw query parameter in here. It will be raw query parameter, and it will be I like this product, and well, pretty much this is it, right? So kind of title and product. So let's execute this query, and this time it actually filtered those parameters, right? So basically you get the idea, right? So you can perform any type of request here. You can do filtering, you can do sorting, you can do any kind of operation wherever you are, action clicks, etc., and you will just see the actual API calls that are being performed by the browser, and then you copy paste them to the browser, or go to documentation and discover what those APIs calls are doing. And by doing this, you can quickly learn what you need to do. Like, for example, you need to search a set of items in your product by a certain ID, right? You can quickly basically switch to the product. Like in this case, for example, let's go to the product. In product, we'll go to items collection, and in items collection, we can search by something, right? So kind of apply some filter here or remove some filter here, 1, 2, 3, and we can see the actual API calls. Like, for example, this is the API call that you need to be doing items, and then query parameter item type reservation, and for example, I like parameter, etc., etc., etc. This is a very efficient way to learn APIs of CloudBlue Connect. I do recommend you to use it when you need to do something quickly, and it's a very good entry point to the documentation, because then you know at least which API collection you need to learn. You at least know which operation you need to discover, and then you go to details of our API descriptions, and you learn the rest. And for more information about all of this stuff, you please go to our CloudBlue Connect community website at connect.cloudblue.com, and visit our YouTube channel. And please, if you visit our YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe and leave a like under this video, so that we actually see that you support us and you value the time that we're investing into these videos. With this, thank you very much, guys, for your time, and have a wonderful day. Talk to you later. Bye.